I had a recording issue for the next 2 episodes, but I have a crunch course and a rewind and a recap of everything that's going to help you set a good foundation for the advancement of the storyline. So essentially, the life pod that you're working out of, you want to go inland, like toward the land, because you're looking for a certain radio signal for a beacon, and later on a delta signal. There's a research station you'll find. But specifically, you're going to need certain equipment, and that will include the Sea Glide and the fragments and where to find them, and another piece of equipment called the mineral detector. That's the Sea Glide. As you can see, it has an overlay to do basically a sonar scan of all the underground terrain, and pretty much this is what you're going to need to find without missing anything. So this will be really helpful. Essentially, you're going to move toward inland, and you'll get a radio signal for a beacon, a distress beacon per se. That's where you'll find the blueprint for the beacon, a mineral detector to build it, and then as well as some advanced later on equipment, which you'll have to return for, and that'll be covered as well. In this area, you might want to start looking for other resources, titanium, tons of copper, but specifically the ore deposit will randomize with the drops. But specifically try to find a lot of titanium and copper, and there's a fragment there, and that's what you're looking for to assemble the Sea Glide. It'll propel you, provides light, and it has an X-ray, like a 3D graph of the depth below and the surrounding terrain. In those crates, you will find food and water and flares, as well as in that box, and a voice log that's on that platform. You're going to need that voice log, and I'll show you the contents of that in a second. It's right there. It's roughly on that platform, and in that box is
Warning.
In
30
that box
seconds of oxygen
is the mineral detector, and it does basically a radiographic scan of all the different elements and fragments that you can find in the surrounding area, and that's going to help you isolate the materials you'll need to build the blueprint that you'll have to scan for. The beacon you'll see in a second after that voice log.
I'm telling you, Sammy, you see some weird things when you spend half your day in a sea truck.
More vandalism? Was it the sea monkeys again?
I don't think so. I can't shake the feeling this planet is cursed.
There's no such thing as a curse.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's nothing. You wouldn't want to hear about it anyway. Just a huge creature frozen in ice.
What? Where?
In a cave, not far from your lab. And here's the extra weird part. As soon as I called it in, they closed off the area. Don't want anyone going in there.
But why?
Sammy, I'm no biologist, but I think there was something wrong with it. Its skin just seemed off. Alien.
An alien on planet 4546b. No.
I'm serious, Sam. Something ain't right. Wish I could show you, but I can't get back in there.
You can. But I might know how to.
Whatever you're thinking, we never had this conversation.
So in a nutshell, I would say that there's the beacon there. You want to scan that beacon because you might need it for what I'm going to show you, give you a really good foundation for what's coming next. The batteries, you're going to need a lot of batteries if you explore a lot. You're going to need batteries to navigate and use additional equipment like the mineral detector and the Sea Glide.
Hey, Robin, I got your Augie photo. Thanks so much for taking care of him, even though he's a cranky potato. Hey, the nickname actually fits that way. A cranky potato. I know he can be a handful, but I really appreciate it. I'm a bit worried about my other baby, the mission. One of my penguins found something big. But Altera is just like nothing to see here. Honestly, kinda glad you can't answer, so you can't, rub it in my face. Go ahead, bask in the fact that you were a little bit right about them. My project is on the line. my job, my safety. I heard about Xenoworks getting bought. Sorry. But at least you still have your job. Guess you're one of us now. Like it or not. Welcome to the Altera family. I should probably go before I say something I regret. Love you. Keep your chin up. Eye on the alien prize. Hey, Robin. I'm sorry my last message was so awful. I've been under a lot of stress. I'm not sure what's going on with anything. I can't really talk about it either. Oh, and I'm definitely not dating anyone on this water planet. Don't know what I was thinking there. Have I told you how cold it is here? Get this. I can't even get my wash and go dry before the wind freezes the moisturizer in my hair. Wild, right? Well, anyway, I'm sure you're mad at me after what I said, but I could really use a friend. You're my sister. I love you. I'm sorry.
After you've scanned essentially the three things you're going to need, the Sea Glide, the beacon, and the mineral detector you'll find in that box, stockpile and get all the stuff you're gonna need to build these things, and make sure you have an abundance, because the storyline progresses to a level which is beyond. Okay, the standard O2 tank, that specific bottle, you want to build 2 of them, for where I'm going to take you to make it a lot easier with a good foundation to really get far in the story quickly. The next thing I would recommend is you're going to need to build that Sea Glide and the beacon, as well as the mineral detector. As soon as you have all 3 of those, the story that you'll see where the next episode is, it gets advanced to where you're going to look for a mobile vehicle bay, and you'll find the Pathfinder. So I'll show you that general area where to find it, and an area underneath that platform where the Pathfinder is for this entire network of caves, gold and silver. And you're going to need a ton of that gold and silver. The diamonds for the laser cutter you'll find a lot later, but specifically you're going to be looking for blueprints for a laser cutter, a mobile vehicle bay. You might find a gravity trap, and there's a propulsion gun. The 4 specific things you're going to look for. But you're definitely going to go down there for 2 things that are going to be required. The mobile vehicle bay and the laser cutter. And if you can find sea truck fragments, you're way ahead. And I'll break that down as we go further in a second here. Okay, so you're going to find these little guys that they're adorable and funny. They're called sea monkeys. And they're notorious for stealing things out of your hand and hiding them inside their nest. So if you're holding an item that's in hand and they come around, they will steal it and they'll hide it. And you'll find it if you dig in the caves I'm taking you to below where the Pathfinder is. A unique thing that's in line is you'll find the distress beacon, and then in line to that, you'll also find, which is describing this item here, the anemone. You're going to need, not necessarily need it, but it gives you food and water. And it's almost in line from your life pod to the supply beacon. Okay, that if you align those and move directly away, you'll find the anemones for food and water. And also en route, the supply drop, which is directly below me now. And in that supply drop area, this is what I'm trying to explain what I didn't without recording. You're going to look for a technology chip that'll give you access to the beacon and some things you may not have to keep the storyline and everything you need in line. You'll find the Pathfinder right down here. There's like neon beacons in the tool. And essentially it's just a way marker that you can shoot to remember your way in and out of caverns. The Pathfinder. There's flares in the crates, there's water, there's food. But you want to get that tech chip, the voice log that's on the deck. The voice log you'll find on this platform will give you a profile of these sea monkeys and how notorious they are.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Which is where we're going next.
Ah, jeez. These sea monkeys are gonna get me in trouble. This is the third shipment that those buggers have gotten their weird little hands into. Now we're running low on flares, and I'm gonna have to search nearby nests for stolen cargo. They're lucky they're kinda cute. Raccoons of the sea, those ones.
Now, like I said earlier, you're going to want to make a second air bottle because it makes things ton. You could switch them out and go deeper. But if you brought that beacon, you can come back here, which pays out even if I missed a recording, and now I can walk you through what you missed. When you come down here, you're going to be looking for these specific air pockets, and they'll extend you
Warning.
down.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
That's why you're going to need to daisy chain off of those air plants. But there's two things you're looking for: blueprints to items that are found in the sea monkey nest, as well as materials like that pustule, that pod. It refines into a material you're going to need. But you want to make sure you grab those air things consecutively and daisy chain back and forth. If you get stuck, switch out the air bottles and try to escape, but always have a second bottle. If you lose a second bottle, egress and leave the space. But the goal is to get down here as far as you can and look for 4 specific items to scan for. In the nest, you'll find a laser cutter, a mobile vehicle bay fragment, a gravity trap. You might find those, a propulsion cannon. And those are basically your 4: your propulsion cannon, your gravity trap, your mobile vehicle bay, and the laser cutter.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
If you dig far enough, you will find that alien artifact, and that is where we're going to go next. In the game, and the storyline, and everything. It's incredible.
Oxygen.
Now, this is where that second air bottle might come in handy.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
As long as you have that second air bottle,
Oxygen.
you're able to scan for different materials. But stay down here for
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
as long as you can to also look for gold and silver deposits with the mineral detector. And that's what I did, is I grabbed every single thing in this area all the way down to the alien artifact. So elaborately explore this area and literally live in it. To have a good foundation and use the Sea Glide and that X-ray to elaborately search this area, get gold and silver too with the mineral detector. If you're in this area long enough, you'll also get a beacon update to a Delta base, and that's where your first goal is, your first objective. But to make things a lot easier for technology and equipment and so on later, get as much gold and silver as you can. Take 2 oxygen bottles into this area and explore it as best you can to stockpile gold and silver. It's critical. I cannot stress it enough. And once you have enough, make sure you save often if you need. But bring 2 oxygen bottles and strictly keep moving between those oxygen plants. If you lose your second bottle, return to the surface and recharge both bottles, and then repeat the process. Your lifeline is, as soon as you have that second bottle active, egress, get out of the space, because chances are you will succumb to drowning. So get that second bottle filled with oxygen. And since I have the time to kind of guide you where I'm going next, I can kind of give you a prelude to where I'm going. I will be heading to that direction, the Delta base, the Delta dock, but there's some equipment that's way, way, way down in the ocean we're going to have to look for, because we're going to have to go back to it later. And this is also where you find that cybernetic alien. That is, I know it's kind of a spoiler, but I don't want to miss this part and have you guys see it in real time. As I'm collecting stuff, scanning for different technology upgrades to go even further, and then hopefully in the next episode, starting to build a habitat. This is where the game really takes off. So I wanted to wrap all this up in one episode, but make it tiny so you can see where things get really cool. And it's where we're going next is going to be incredible. So thanks again for watching. I'll try to talk less and do more. It's the only thing I can. I'm out. Peace.